Okay, so now Mama's going to be milking the goats, and she'll show you just how easy it is to get the two mamas in here. She's been
I don't have this baby running out.
milking these goats for a couple years now, so it's become kind of a normal thing for them. They know the deal. They know that when they get fed, they get milk, or vice versa. When they get milk, they get goodies.
Okay. Looks like Blanca has taken herself inside already and put herself in the milking stanchion. They just come right in and immediately go to the stanchion. I've already got grain in there for them. And we do the headlock. If you've got an ornery goat, it works. These goats sometimes will stay there without the headlock, but if you're in the middle of milking and a bull calf walks in the milking shed with you, it stirs them up and they tend to back out. You might lose your milk. They might put their foot in the bucket, whatever. Anyway, this is Blanca. She has put herself in the milking stanchion. While she's here, I'm going to do a few things, and I do this every day. I'll pick up her head and look for any injuries. I give a quick look to her eyes and check her eye color. If it's nice and pink, then she's good. If it's turning to a lighter pink or turning white, then we've got a bad worm load. So I will add a little bit of feed-through wormer to her. They really like this stuff. And this is just something I do on once a week or every couple of weeks, depending on when I think they need it. So, okay, she's got a little feed-through worm medicine there with her feed, and we're getting ready to milk her. So I always keep a bottle of heavily diluted Dawn out here. A bucket. You just want to wipe down their udder a little bit. You're also, when you're wiping it down, you're checking their udder for sores, any injuries. So I'm getting ready to milk her, and I'm just going to take and wipe down her udder a little bit. That's not her favorite part, but she gets over it. When you're doing this, you're doing it to keep dirt and hair and grime from falling into your milk bucket. Because you know they lay on their belly when they're out in their pen. Some people will tell you to use a small milk bucket on a goat. I don't. I use the biggest milk bucket I can find. The reason I do that is goats are prone to putting their foot in the bucket or kicking the bucket. And if I've got a really nice large opening in my bucket, I can put it all the way up to the front feet and direct the milk into it that way. If you've got a problem goat and they're putting their foot in the bucket, then the larger opening you've got for milking that goat, the better. Now this Blanca has what's known as a pendulous udder. She's not a breeder goat. She's simply a milk goat. Something more like what my grandmother would have. We're not concerned with a beautiful udder. We're concerned with a good goat that gives good milk. And she's on about her 9th month of freshening. Let's see. Actually almost 11 months now. She freshened, she had her babies in February, so she's almost a year into her freshening, and I get about a quart of milk from her a day, which is not much. In her first early freshening, she'll give me close to a gallon, but right now she's on the back end of her freshening, and we're still getting milk from her, and that's good. I have a cat over here that knows that I don't currently have a lot of use for my goat milk. I've been kind of busy, so I'm not making cheese. And when I'm not making cheese, the pigs and the cats get most of the milk. If I need some for cooking, I always keep probably a half gallon of fresh milk in the kitchen for cooking. And I'll just, it's raw milk. I don't process it. I'll just strain it and put it in a half-gallon jar in the refrigerator. And that's the milk that I use for my cooking, making gravies, biscuits, and things like that.
I think the word is out.
Like I do, so my cats get it. Now what's left out of this, I'll start over here in the pig bucket. Tonight the pigs will have about a gallon of milk and some corn. And they get that on days that I'm not needing milk. So you noticed earlier, Irish is ready to be milked. She was telling Blanca that her time is up, so I'm going to release the neck piece here, the yolk, and I will nudge Blanca out. She and Irish will make a pretty good swap. Blanca's a little timid because Irish is a little bit of the alpha goat. So once I get Blanca to go past her, then Irish will come right in, load herself up in the chute, and be ready to be milked. So now she gets her turn at eating. Her neck is a little lower than the other goats, so this doesn't fit as well. Once again, I'm going to check her ears, her nose, her mouth, and her eyes. I also check for a little bit of smell, because they'll always belch when they get into the chute. Okay, her eyes look really good. I'm not going to feed her any worm medicine today. She'll get whatever Blanca left. So, there you go. We'll take a little bit of our Dawn again. Like I said, I always keep a bottle of diluted Dawn in the barn. And I'll just wash her udder and her belly. One of the things I forgot to do while I was showing you Blanca is I forgot to check her hooves. When you get your milk, your goat in the stanchion, you want to look at their hooves. This little girl's about ready for a trim, so I'll be trimming these in a few days. You'll watch the video on that. Right now, I'm just going to wash down that udder a little bit. It's always a shock. That water's not really warm, not the most comfortable. So you just wash that udder down a little bit. Wash the belly a little bit. And this goat has a nice trick. She did not mother her babies well, and she also tends to want to keep her feet in my way. So I'm not going to fight with her. I'm going to sit down and set up. Mr. Cameraman Walt, will you come around to this side and look at this from my point of view? Take a look right here at this udder. And you'll notice she has her elbow of her back foot right up against that udder. And that is to keep me from milking her. If you were a baby goat, it would be really hard to get milk out of this mama. So I'm not going to fight her. I'm not going to try to milk around that. What I am going to do, and you can probably catch that view best from right about here, I'm going to make her move that foot because this is my milking time and she's on my schedule. I'm not going to play fight the goat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foot, I've got rubber soft soles on, and I'm going to put my foot right here. When I do that, she's going to take this leg back and she'll put it right back here, and that udder will be clear for me to milk. And this is not fighting how to not fight a goat when you're trying to milk her. There you go. It was that easy. Now I have complete access to that teat and the other teat from here. Like I said, I have a large opening on my bucket, so I can move it, I can adjust it, do whatever I need to do in here to keep her from putting her foot in that bucket. Now, here we go. She knows that leg is supposed to stay out of my way. Now she'll stay that way the whole time I'm milking. And that's all it took. There was no fighting this goat to get her to move her foot. There's no stomping, no put the foot in the bucket. The only time you're going to get a foot in the bucket with her is if something comes up behind her and startles her. Sometimes the cats will come up behind her and start weaving in and out of her legs. But other than that, she has been a problem goat in the past, and she's one of the fastest goats I've got to milk right now. So there you go. That was Irish. And we'll do something else on the farm for you later at a later time. If you have any questions, go down below, leave a comment. I answer all comments. So leave a comment below. Hit subscribe if you want to know more about life on the Twin Dragons Ranch.